11 million telecom subscribers risk disconnection due to SIM-NIN linkage failure. Worshippers abducted by bandits during early morning prayer in Zamfara. Naira rebounds at official market as dollar exchange loses 6.5%. Ghanaian Parliament passes anti-LGBTQ plus bill despite international pushback, prescribes prison sentence for offenders. Hello there, good afternoon and welcome to Trust TV's news update. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. The Nigeria Communications Commission has issued a directive to telecom service providers across the country to bar subscribers from who have failed to link their phone numbers to their national identification numbers on or before February 28, 2024. The Executive Vice Chairman of the Commission, Aminu Maida, who gave the directive through the Director of Public Affairs, Ruben Morka, at the 45th Kaduna International Trade Fair on Wednesday, insisted that as a matter of critical national security, telecom consumers must link their NIN to their SIM cards. He insisted that the February 28 deadline given to telecom operators to bar subscribers who fail to link their NIN to their SIM card stands. The NCC boss also disclosed that as of 2023, the telecom's industry contribution to the nation's GDP stood at 13.5%.
The reason why it has to happen is it is in the interest of national security, our security, interest of even the consumers, that we need to get the identity of people who are using the phones, that their name has to be linked to their SIM, also for the same reason. So it is, and for a long time we have been on it, asking that this be done. It's almost 2 years, and for each time people are not listening to go and link their name to their SIM. It doesn't mean when you are disconnected, it doesn't mean when you are bad, you can still go ahead to go to your service provider and get your name, and after they validate your name, they verify that your name is correct, and then they will know your customer details. They will check up your biometrics and identities, all the requirements, and they will give you your line back.
Now, scores of worshippers were abducted by bandits in a mosque in Safe town, the headquarters of Safe local government area of Zamfara state. According to a local source in the area, the bandits stormed the mosque around 5 a.m. on Thursday morning, just as the morning prayer was about to commence. The eyewitness estimates that a number of the abducted worshippers could be as high as 30. Community leaders speaking anonymously to newsmen informed that the members of the Community Protection Guards are currently pursuing the bandits to rescue kidnapped worshippers. Safi local government area has been severely affected by banditry, with the Safi-Gusau road spanning 56 kilometers, now considered the most perilous spot in the state due to daily kidnappings. Additionally, recent clashes between rival bandit groups in the area resulted in numerous casualties. Efforts to obtain comments from the spokesperson of the Zamfara State Police Command, ASP Yazid Abubakar, proved unsuccessful as he could not be reached despite multiple attempts to contact him on the phone for comments. A little earlier, my colleague Aisha Saliu spoke to Trust TV's correspondent in the area, Yusho Adamu, who gave an update on the recent attack.
Well, though we have not received the number of casualties affected, but there is apprehension among the residents of Koremai Saji, where the incident happened. And this village is just less than a kilometer away from Safe town. So the fear and apprehension also is affecting the people of Safe town, because in the recent time, this is the first attack that bandits carried out very close to Safi. So there is apprehension among the residents of Safi themselves. So even though we have heard that the Nigerian troop has deployed their personnel to the area where the attack happened, but up to this moment we have not heard from the Nigerian troop, neither we get the number of casualties that involved. But one of the residents that spoke with me confirmed to me that the people abducted were about to reach to the mosque when the bandits apprehended them. So those that are inside the mosque also ran away for safety. So this is what exactly happened. But we are still searching for more information regarding the attack. Well, like I have said, we have not heard on the part of security or government side, but the residents are really complaining that if care is not taken, these bandits may likely attack Fateh town itself. Because like I have said, this Korim Maisaji is like half a kilometer distance from Fateh town. And there is no presence of much security around the town. So there is every likelihood that if security personnel are not deployed to the area, the bandits might have come back and attacked the Fateh town. So the residents are really shocked with this recent development.
Daily Trust Bureau Chief in Zamfara speaking to Aisha Salio earlier about the recent attack by bandits in Safi local government area, where they approximately kidnapped over 30 worshippers early Thursday morning. To Plateau State now, where the State Police Command has paraded one of the suspected kidnappers of two Reverend Fathers of St. Vincent de Paul Parish, Fier District of Pangshing local government area of the state. The kidnapped Reverend Fathers, Reverend Kenneth M. Kanwa and Jude Mwachuku, were kidnapped on February 1st, throwing the local government into confusion. Ado Musa has more on the story.
The suspect, Christopher Yero, was paraded alongside other suspects who were arrested for culpable homicide, kidnapping as well as robbery among others. The State Commissioner of Police, Hassan Steve, while parading the suspects, explained how the suspected kidnapper was arrested in Ogun State.
Upon the receipt of the report, the Commissioner of Police Plateau State directed the OC anti-kidnapping unit just to make a local circulation to all police media platforms, which led to the arrest of one of the suspects, Christopher Yaro, aka Munaka, in Ogunfaaway, Ogun State, where he has escaped to. The suspect confessed to being part of the kidnap gang that kidnapped the two Reverend Fathers in Pangshing local government area. Investigation is ongoing to arrest the other two suspects, the other suspect at large. The suspect will soon be charged to court. That is the one that has been arrested at Ogun State, will soon be charged to court.
The suspected kidnapper, while commenting on his arrest, explains his involvement in the kidnapping of the priest.
Akwai wani mutum ne a wurin mu sunan shi Alhaji Chu. So shi yana tafiyan Catholic Church, ni kuma na tafiyan Kokin Church. Ni da nazo sai.
There is a man called Alhaji Chu who gives loans to people in the community. One day, I went to his house and requested for a loan to take my son to the hospital. Surprisingly, he came to my house in the morning and said he had brought 5 Fulanis from Bauchi State, and that 5 of us from the village will join them. From what he told me, I understood that I would make the list of those who would kidnap the Reverend Fathers. Later, I heard that people were looking for me in the area. That is why I fled to Ogun State, where I was arrested. While commenting on the general security of the state, the new police commissioner said, on assumption of office, he took time to painstakingly study the predominant security challenges in the state, adding that they will do everything possible to secure lives and properties in the state. Ado Musa, Trust TV News, Jos.
And in other security matters, the police in Benue State have apprehended 3 individuals involved in the illegal manufacturing of firearms in Agu community of Vandekia local government area of the state. The State Police Commissioner, Emmanuel Adesina, disclosed this during his inaugural press briefing at the police headquarters in Makurdi. The Commissioner of Police also said the arrest followed intelligence gathered about arms deals in Agu Vendekia local government area of the state, with police detectives deployed to gather further information and later apprehended the suspects involved. The police commissioner added that the suspect led the team to the hideout of his regular suppliers, who were both blacksmiths of Adiko in Kwande local government area, and they specialize in fabricating firearms. The two manufacturers were also arrested. The suspects will soon be charged to court, according to the police, when investigations have been concluded. To Borno State, where Governor Babagana Zulum has called on the federal government to forgo merging the Army University in Biu with the Nigeria Defense Academy in Kaduna. Speaking during the distribution of 100,000 bags of food items in Maiduguri and Jere local government areas, the governor emphasized that such a decision would align with the ideologies of Boko Haram, which opposes Western education. Governor Zulum highlighted that the establishment of the Army University in Biu provided educational opportunities for Borno and neighboring states, especially considering the prolonged conflict in the northeastern region that has deprived children and youth in the area of proper education. The governor also stressed the importance of preserving the institution rather than scrapping it. The governor also advocated the enhancement of the National Center for Agriculture Mechanical in Ilorin, emphasizing its crucial role in fabricating agricultural tools necessary for food security. The governor also underscored the significance of supporting institutions that contribute to agriculture development in Nigeria.
If they don't want to create another university called Army University, we shall still appeal to the federal government to allow the Federal Ministry of Education to take over the Army University to become a conventional university. This is also something that we shall plead to the federal government. If it is possible, they should allow it as Army University because of the importance of education in this part of the country. While Boko Haram is saying that education is forbidden. And I think by allowing this Army University to be, to be scrapped, I think they might have achieved one or two of their own objectives.
Residents of Makurdi, the Benue state capital, have been reacting to the president's directive for the full implementation of the Steve Oronsaye report on the restructuring of government agencies and parastatals. While commending the move of the president, they also called for the trimming of political appointees in the federal government to reduce the cost of governance. Jimmy Azande sampled their opinions and filed in the report.
The 800-page document for restructuring the federal civil service, popularly known as the Oronsaye report, was a brainchild of the administration of former President Goodluck Jonathan. According to Makurdi Residents, implementation of the report is long overdue and commended the political will of President Bola Tinubu.
Yes, the move by the federal government to more or less reform the federal civil services in the right direction. And for most of us, we said it is something that is long overdue. And of course, it's better late than never. We believe that if we're implemented, of course, that will not just save cost, but will strengthen processes within the civil service and indeed reduce corruption to a large extent.
For Mr. President to see to it that the Oronsaye report is implemented at this time that things are very tough, I think it's a good development. The only reservation I have is that he too has appointed a very large cabinet. So is he going to start with his own cabinet?
And I think the President of the Federal Republic of Nigeria, President Ahmed Bola Tinubu, taking the bold step to implement the Oronsaye's report, in my own opinion, is quite commendable, because the report goes down to cutting cost of governance and also increasing and making government to save more money for other projects and government expenditures.
They called on the state governors to emulate the president in this regard and save their state's resources through reduction in cost of governance.
There's a lot of lack of transparency at the state level across board. For instance, we don't know what is coming to most states and how monies that are coming to the states are being disbursed. We hope that the state government will take a cue from what the federal government is doing and be more transparent to the people, be accountable to the people, and also try as much as possible to minimize costs. We have a lot of governors flying here and there for occasions that are not very relevant at this difficult time.
The issue of cutting down costs of government have been on the front burner over time. So all arms of government should adopt this strategy so that we will make maximum use of the lean resources that we have.
Most of these agencies, the state government can actually fuse them under one agency, fuse them under one parastatal, cut costs and save more money and reduce the cost of governance across the state.
It is left to be seen if the president will make good his directive for the implementation of the Orasaye report, which was presented many years ago. Jimmy Azandi, Trust TV News, Makurdi.
Back in Abuja, the FCT administration, through its city management team, has conducted a demolition exercise targeting shanties at the Bureau de Change headquarters in Zone 4 area of Abuja. After clearing the shanties, which included makeshift shops and trees, Mukhtar Galadima, the leader of the team and director of the Department of Development Control, addressed journalists. Galadima explained that the shanties served as hideouts for suspected criminals in the city center, posing a security threat. He emphasized that the area was rife with legal activities that needed to be addressed promptly. Describing the area as an eyesore, Galadima stated that the demolition exercise was carried out based on directive to restore the aesthetic appeal of the area. He highlighted the BDC operators, saying that they are expected to conduct their businesses from designated and licensed areas rather than under trees and bushes as observed in Zone 4. This is the news update on Trust TV. Still to come. Defying old age to work odd jobs just to make ends meet as economic conditions worsen in Nigeria. Details of this and many more stories coming up ahead after the break. Welcome back to the news. Let's quickly take another look at the top stories. 11 million telecom subscribers risk disconnection due to SIM-NIN linkage failure. Worshippers abducted by bandits during early hour morning prayer in Zamfara. Now, the Naira appreciated marginally against the United States dollar to 1,609 Naira on Wednesday at the official market from 1,615 Naira 94 kobo recorded the previous day. This indicates an increase of 6 Naira or 0.3%. The slight improvement came on the heels of the series of foreign exchange guidelines issued by the Central Bank of Nigeria in recent weeks. Meanwhile, the Monetary Policy Committee on Tuesday raised the monetary policy rate, also known as benchmark interest rate, by 400 basis points to 22.75% on Tuesday, up from 18.75% in 2023. Now, amidst widespread public concern regarding inadequate remuneration for formal sector workers, many Nigerians find themselves struggling to make ends meet on wages significantly below the minimum wage. In a pursuit of dignified livelihood, 54-year-old Adamu Aliyu is defying age barriers by accepting a job as a laborer in a truck garage in Abuja, determined to provide sustenance for himself and his family. Ibrahim Ismail has his story.
Despite the sweltering heat in Nigeria's capital, Abuja, 54-year-old Adamu perseveres through hard labor to earn money for himself and his family. Despite his age, Adamu only receives 500 Naira for his contribution to a group effort in loading a truck with gravel. Nevertheless, he persists in managing these meager resources to ensure survival. This job has been a lifesaver for me. I managed to finance my wedding with the earnings and have been able to provide for my child. Despite the physical strain, I don't feel the pain as much. Once I take a shower after work, I feel rejuvenated. Adamu, who is deeply troubled by the unemployment crisis in the country, firmly believes that young Nigerians have the potential to become self-employed by exploring all available job opportunities. There were days when I was idle due to the lack of job opportunities. But now, when the work is available, I load 3 or 2 trucks daily. I advise everyone to be dedicated to their work. I don't rely solely on this job. I used to sell vegetables before returning to this job. The management of the truck garage situated along the Abuja Kefi Road has stated that the facility provides employment for approximately 300 Nigerians in various capacities. We hustle every day to ensure there is food on the table. Each morning, we manage to provide for our families by the grace of God. However, we lack excavators, loaders, and additional trucks essential for our work. We call on the government to support us by providing these necessary machines. 54-year-old Adamu Abubakar remains optimistic that his journey will serve as an inspiration to both the younger generation and middle-aged Nigerians, encouraging them to strive for self-improvement and work diligently to enhance their livelihoods. Ibrahim Ismail, Trust TV News, Abuja.
Two developments on the international scene. Ghana's Parliament, has passed the highly contentious anti-LGBTQ+ bill after about 3 years of deliberations. The new bill imposes a prison sentence of up to 3 years for anyone convicted of identifying as a member of the LGBTQ+ community. It also imposes a maximum of 5-year jail term for forming or funding LGBTQ+ groups in Ghana. The bill was approved unanimously on Wednesday following the completion of the third reading. Proposed amendments to the bill were rejected by the Speaker, Alban Bagbin, during the session. Lawmakers heckled down attempts to replace prison sentences with community service and counseling. It is the latest sign of growing opposition to the LGBTQ+ rights in the conservative West African nation. The bill is now slated to be forwarded to President Akufo-Addo for his assent for it to be signed into law. The president has in the past said that he would do so if the majority of Ghanaians want him to. In sports, Italy's anti-doping tribunal on Thursday handed down a 4-year ban to France midfielder Paul Pogba after he tested positive for testosterone last year. A spokesperson for the club told AFP it had been notified of the decision against the 30-year-old World Cup winner. Football journalist Fabrizio Romano also confirmed this development on his X handle. Well, that's it. You're up to date with the latest news stories at this hour. We'll be back with more news stories later at 4. For now, follow us across our social media platforms to catch up with more news contents and documentaries. My name is Abdullahi Ahmed. Thank you for watching. We'll see you soon.